What's happening, Deadites? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having an absolutely killer day. Thank you for tuning in once again. Of course, if you're new around here, welcome. Today we're going to have another music video. And of course, as you can see, we have Holly with us once again. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So today we are going to react to the brand new song and video by Cryptopsy. This one's called Until There's Nothing Left, and this comes off of their upcoming album, An Insatiable Violence, which is due out on Season of Mist on June 20th. Now, are you familiar with Cryptopsy?
Very.
I already knew that, but you guys didn't know that, so I figured I'd let the audience know. Yes, both of us are fans of this band. I know I grew up with this band. This is one of the seminal bands that when I got into death metal, really got me into this extreme music.
Yeah, it was this band and Cannibal Corpse that got me into more of the extreme music.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're looking forward to this?
Very much.
Okay,
No.
well, let's jump into it. Is that a worm? Where's Lord Worm when you need him? That was definitely Cryptopsy. You always get the hyperness with these guys. It's a little bit different. Melodic. Like that groove there. Flo's such a maniac on drums. Ooh, that bass. I really like that melody, that's cool. Bye-bye. And there we have it. That was Cryptopsy with Until There's Nothing Left. So what'd you think about this one?
I loved it.
I was going to say, you're bobbing your head in this one. I was definitely enjoying this. I mean, Cryptopsy is always high energy, you know.
Yeah.
Again, being a band that we grew up on.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely a band I'm biased towards anyways.
Yeah.
But there was iterations of the band that honestly I wasn't a big fan of. Like when they changed vocalists and stuff initially. Like, So initially they had a vocalist by the name of Lord Worm. And then they got a different vocalist named Mike. That was more of a hardcore vocalist.
Yeah.
And that they came in with Whisper Supremacy. And honestly, I wasn't really a big fan of that. So, and then of course, when Maddie came on for vocals, they tried to do something a little bit different for one of their albums. And at that point, I was not into it at all. They kind of jumped on the nu metal kind of bandwagon thing with some elements there. And they actually used clean vocals. And it wasn't Cryptopsy as far as I was concerned. And at that point, I pretty much dismissed this band. But then, of course, they came back with their self-titled album, just Cryptopsy, and they have Matt doing brutal vocals on it. To me, his voice sounded a lot like Sven from Abort It.
Yeah.
Kind of had that quality to it, you know, just your deep growls and stuff. And John, their previous guitar player, had come back and wrote the songs for it, and it really just sounded like Cryptopsy again. Yeah. So at that point, I was like, oh, okay, you're reeling me back in. Yeah, I'm a fan again. Yeah. So I've definitely enjoyed stuff they put out since.
Yeah.
And how about you? Are you familiar with their newer stuff? Or are you just more familiar with older stuff?
More with the older stuff that I really was drawn to. The newer stuff that they come up, like a lot of stuff that you just mentioned. I think I appreciated it because it was Cryptopsy.
Yeah.
So I still have like that hold, that nostalgia hold, but also at the same time it's just like a little bit of a miss. But now they've willed me in, so I was just like
yeah,
it just kind of feels like that home feeling.
Yeah, I mean it's brutal, it's hyper again. Yeah. I mean Flo's a monster on drums.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's definitely influenced me for even playing drums and the style that I play and stuff like that. Like he just was back in the day. You didn't really get faster than Cryptopsy.
No, you really didn't.
Yeah, they really brought the speed game. So very influential, of course.
Yeah.
But everything about this I thought was fantastic.
I thought it was great. When they came out with Sire Sin, I always found that there was like a bit of a split, but I said like, no, I think that like they're back.
Okay.
Now, to me personally, this song coming out, for me, it's proof. Like, no, they're back.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure Sire Sin. I know the name, but I can't put the music to the name right now.
Okay.
Is that do you know what album that's off of? Is it one of the EPs or is it off? Maybe that's, or is that? I'm not sure, to be honest. It doesn't matter either way.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names. I mean, come on, there's a million death metal names, all the bands. It's hard to keep everything straight.
Yeah.
But I definitely know that name. Either way, yeah, I really enjoyed this. Musicianship is top notch, like always, like very well played. I really like the melody they had in this one. There's a moment there we get this melody that finished the song off and it played earlier in the song as well. And to me, that sounded, I mean, don't get me wrong, Cryptopsy's done lots of melody. Yeah. But for some reason, that stood out to me as being a little bit different from what I've heard from as of late. So I thought that was great. They mixed things up. There was a few grooves in there that were a lot of fun. Of course, the intensity and the blast beats were there. So they kind of bring a little bit of everything. So it's a nice mix up. Like there's no moments to get bored, I don't think.
I don't think so. Especially where they're bringing, I find more of the 90s feel, like the classic, like the music video itself, like very simplest.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what you thought of the music video. I like that aesthetic. I like the black and white aesthetic. There's something artsy about it for some reason. And it also brings a little bit of creepiness, I think.
It does, yeah. I think it just gets your imagination going more. It just brings back to watching Loud on Much Music when I was a teenager in my basement. So it brought back like,
what do you think?
Home.
Was the Worms? Was that like a little tribute?
I think so.
I think
that's a little tongue in cheek where I'm just like.
And it's funny because just on Instagram earlier, I saw a photo with the band and Lord Worm was in the photo with them.
Oh, get out.
So it's like, okay, I wonder if this was like a little tribute or something. Or either way, I mean, they have songs like Back to the Worms and stuff. So either way, it's inherent with Cryptopsy. So I like that was in there.
I like that too.
So yeah, thought this was fantastic. Nothing bad to say. Looking forward to more.
So much.
Awesome, great video, enjoyed this. So if you're not familiar with these guys and you enjoyed this, I highly recommend you go check them out. And of course, if you enjoy them, support them like any band that you enjoy. Now, if you have a moment to help support this channel, then please subscribe. It helps the channel grow. And pale that like button. And if you'd like to hear future updates, stab the notification bell down below for that. Also, don't forget about those socials down below. You can follow me on all of the major platforms. Of course, the original link is down there. And if you'd like to check out my band, Dagger, there's also some links down below for that as well. If you take time to listen to something, I'd be happy to get some feedback from you. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your support and taking time to watch these videos. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Cheers, everybody. Stay sick.